So I'm not going to do live because it keeps cutting off after 30 seconds and says it's reconnecting. So I'm not doing that. So the reason I'm doing a live video is because cold and flu season has begun. And I am struggling to not get like full on sick. I wanted to share what I've been doing. It's day 5 and I have not gotten sick like my husband has. He's down for the count. He's had a couple of sleepless nights. Night before last, he didn't sleep at all. And I've had really good sleep. So here's what I've done. I have hot and cold showers, morning and night. I'll end with how you do that so it's not uncomfortable. And a Nettie pot. Really, really important. There's 3 things that kill anaerobic bacteria. Pardon me, and that's that along with viruses are going to die in the presence of chlorine, salt, and lack of oxygen. Oxygen, not lack of oxygen. So that's why the saline solution in a neti pot, which is like a little teapot that you put in your nostril and you tilt forward and it fills your sinus cavity. Don't worry about it. You're not going to drown. You can still breathe. And when you're congested, you can breathe out of the other side, believe it or not. So I found that to be very, very helpful in keeping the congestion from draining down my throat and causing a sore throat. Day 5 and I still have no sore throat while this goes through its life cycle. Then a nebulizer with iodine in it. Iodine boosts your immunity. It also kills the microbes that are causing sickness or trying to multiply and cause sickness, so it helps. So we've got hot and cold showers. We have saline solution in the sinus cavities. We have a nebulizer, which you don't want to just breathe it in here. I use the mask, so it goes up into my sinuses. And vitamin C, I use vitamin C granules, so I can have as much as I want. I titrate and start with 1/4 teaspoon or less, 1/8 of a teaspoon, and then because it's water soluble, you can't OD on it. It will simply give you diarrhea. So, but your body will start to get used to it, and it needs it to generate, to keep your white blood cells functional. Do not eat sugar. Do not take vitamin C that's in the chewable because that's very high in sugar. So we have water therapy, we have saline in the sinus, we have a nebulizer with iodine, and then salt water gargling. And when you gargle, you want to tilt your head back. I support with my other hand, and then you make a sound. Don't just blow air, because when you blow air, the water doesn't go down as far to the back of the throat as when you make a sound like it opens up the back of your throat a little bit while you blow air through. And then sleep, it's very important, very, very important. And water, and of course, fresh garlic. If you don't like garlic, I'm sorry, but that does help. It is really, really helpful. So how I eat it is I made a potato soup using potato flakes because it's easy. And when you're sick, you don't have much energy. You need easy. So I boil hot water or I use soy milk. I have a soy milk maker, so I can have as much as I want, which is on the cheap. It's like 3 cents or something for a quart, 7 cents at the most. And boil that, heat that up, put the potato flakes in, and then I just take fresh garlic cloves, crush them in I can't talk because I'm tired. Garlic press and some Himalayan sea salt, and you're golden. You can add a little butter or margarine, whatever you want, to give it a little more body. So those are the things that I'm doing to help me stay well. And again, no sugar, because sugar needs to maintain a 50% content on the inside of this white blood cell. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Your white blood cell needs to contain at least a 50% content of vitamin C inside. The molecular structure of vitamin C and sucrose is very similar. So when you eat sucrose, it goes into the white blood cell, displaces the vitamin C, and that's why you get sick, because now your white blood cell is incapacitated. It won't function with the sucrose inside. So that's why you don't want to eat sweets. Now, where are we coming up on? We're coming up on Thanksgiving. What do most people eat at Thanksgiving? A bird. What is the flu that goes around every single season? It's avian flu. Did you know that? You can Google it. It's avian flu. So keep in mind that people have this Halloween candy the end of October, and it's usually something that's still around, depending on what your intake is like. And so they're knocking down their immune system. And then there's Thanksgiving with pie and other sweets, and there's another hit on your immune system, your white blood cells. And then there's, right after that, the beginning of Christmas season. And it's cold out. And when it's cold, it causes the tissue inside of your nose and sinuses to change somewhat. And by that I mean that they become more runny. They I can't remember the whole science, but it's in my lecture. I do a lecture on this. And so then you have more fluid that is running around and susceptible to a viral infection and transmission. And so you've got the cold air and the sweets, and those things are going to take a hit. And then, with the days being shorter and people staying up for parties and stuff, it's just not a recipe for success. So I suggest that you keep your hands washed and sanitized. Do not touch your mouth, nose, or eyes if you can all help it. And during this season, and minimize your sugar intake. I like sweets too. I have a lot in the house. I don't eat a lot. It accumulates. I have a lot because I'm not eating it. And why? Because I get sick so easily. So I'll have a little bit, and it satiates my craving for some chocolate. I don't like milk chocolate. I like dark chocolate. So it doesn't have usually very much of a sugar content, but still. So I just wanted to pass on these things that will help you with the cold and flu season if you so desire. Again, hot and cold showers. So here's how you do it. You start out with a really as hot as you can tolerate shower. And then after your core temperature is good and hot, then you turn the hot down a little bit. Listen to me closely, because you're not going to be motivated to do this if it's uncomfortable. And I do this quite successfully without taking a cold shower because I hate cold showers. So I turn the hot down and turn the cool up a little bit so it's tepid and comfortable. It's comfortable. And I cool down my skin that way, and I have my hair wet too. I just washed my hair because I just did this. And then you turn it back to hot, turn the cold off as much as you can stand, so it's as hot as you can stand. Then you get all warmed up again with your head and everything, and under your arms, the places where you have major blood flow. So down your spine, your armpits, it's large arterial supply, and in the groin, also large arterial supply. And then like the small of your leg, where your leg meets your body, that area, from the hip to midline. So then you go back to hot, heat up, and then after you're tepid, then you go slightly cooler to where you can tolerate it. Just do what you can tolerate. That's it. cool yourself down in all of the blood flow zones, head, spine, armpits, the front of your body, your groin, and then go back to hot and heat yourself up. Now, by the next cycle, you should be able to tolerate very, very cold water. And this is where the magic happens with your immune system. Like I said, I did a research paper on this, so I know. Turn the hot down and turn up the cool, and you're going to find that you can tolerate very cold water at this point. Now, you don't want to stay under it a long time, but you're going to completely cool down the top of your skin. What this does is it forces blood flow from the core of your body out to the surface of the skin, and then the hot water brings it to the surface like this. The cold forces it back to the vital organs, and so it's this forced exchange, and as you don't realize it, but your body is perspiring with the hot water, and you're rinsing away toxins. This generates a massive increase of white blood cell production, which helps your immune system, which helps you stay well. So that's why I'm exhausted right now, because I did that. Then you need to have your ahead of time, you need to have your bed ready with a terry cloth towel spread out that you can lay down, and take another terry cloth towel, bath towel, and put it over top of you so that you can get in between the two towels in bed and cover up. You'll need to cover up. I know you're going to feel like I got to cool down because I'm all hot. Yeah, that's tempting. If you can avoid that, please do. Lay down. You're going to have created a false fever, and this will help to fight the infection that your body is succumbing to otherwise. So that's how you do hydrotherapy. If you don't have tubs and you don't have someone to help you, and you can do this all through your, the 7 days or however long the illness typically lasts. When I get sick, I've been sick as long as 7 weeks because I seem to always have a low white blood cell count. The doctors don't have any suggestion as to how to bring it up. Just last night, I read that it may be a low protein intake that is causing it. So I'm going to start beefing that up. But I've always had a low white blood cell count, like for decades and decades. So I just have to be very careful, which is why I don't eat very many sweets, which is why I don't ever gain weight, because I just can't eat enough calories. It's just not possible. You have a good holiday, and everyone enjoy your Thanksgiving.